Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Thanks for being here. Happy Tuesday. I appreciate you much. Today's Red Mic message: play the game. The debate going on since Sunday, well, it didn't start on a football field, and it doesn't feel like it has a whole heck of a lot to do with the football field, but the debate's been going on in boardrooms, comment sections, media sites, etc., and honestly in the minds of fans everywhere. The question is simple. Should Notre Dame play in a bowl game that has no bearing on standings, rankings, prestige, especially if 10, 15% or more of their roster might say, you know what, it's not worth my time? More about that in a minute. Welcome back to Red Mic Messages. These are leadership and life lessons picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Now, as that mediocre athlete, the decision on whether to play or not, man, I'd be all over it. I'd be like, yeah, play. I got nothing to lose. Haven't asked my buddy Pat Fallon about that, Congressman Pat Fallon. He actually played for Notre Dame. He played on their last national championship team. He will say played on is more like he practiced with and got a jersey and played occasionally. But Pat's a great guy. He's a great congressman. I need to ask him what his opinion is, because on the one side, you got the Notre Dame administration. They're telling you there's no upside for them to play this game. The game obviously doesn't affect the polls. Most, if not all, of their draft eligible players would sit, and a depleted roster for Notre Dame honestly is a recipe for a bad loss. A bad loss is going to hit Notre Dame harder than almost any other program in America because they've got a lot of prestige built up over decades, but also they're an independent. So they don't have those inter-conference games like everybody else. So they're going to worry about injuries, brand damage, transfer portal chaos, and the cost of traveling 150 people to a game that nobody's going to remember 6 weeks from now. Now, on the other side, the NCAA is going to fire back that bowl games are a reward for the entire roster, not just the future pros. Most of your players are never going to see an NFL field, so this is their final moment. Big brands like Notre Dame skipping the bowl games destabilizes the entire postseason system. And if you earn the right to play, you should show up and compete. And it's not just Notre Dame. I don't have a full list, but several other teams have opted out. And all of these teams are arguing, against what the NCAA says. And what the NCAA says is college football depends on commitment, not convenience. And somewhere in the middle sits the fan. We're torn between heart and logic, and you can feel that tension. Your gut says, play the damned game. And your head says, well, this could blow up in their face. Your gut is speaking the language of principle. Competitors compete. You finish what you start. You don't choose your battles based on prestige. You show up because that's what you're supposed to do. Your head is whispering the language of risk. What if we lose? What if it gets ugly? What if it makes the program look smaller instead of as big as we want it to look? And that's where there's a couple of moments from pop culture that kept playing in my head. I know you're saying, wow, you pop culture? No, say it's not so. Well, Captain Kirk, he said, risk is our business. That's what that starship is all about. That's why we're aboard her. His point was not bravado. It was clarity. Exploration, competition, leadership. None of it is real if you only step onto the field of battle when the odds are perfect. And then there's the replacements. Misfits, pressure, second chances. Coach McGinney looks Falco in the eye and he says, Falco, it's nasty out there. And Falco bravely cracks a grin and says, that's why girls don't play the game. He wasn't mocking anyone, so if you're clutching pearls about the girl comment, get over yourself. He was admitting the truth. The game is hard, the hits are real, and you go and you play anyway, because if you're waiting for safe, well, you'll never get in the huddle. There's a leadership lesson hidden under all of this. You don't make the right decision by eliminating risk. You make the right decision by choosing the risk that aligns with who you are. Notre Dame's risk is obvious. Not playing makes them look cautious, strategic, maybe even smart on paper, but it teaches people the wrong lessons. It tells players that participation is optional. It tells the public that the brand matters more than the people involved. It tells the next generation that you only show up if it's optimal, if it's convenient. Playing the game, even if backups are the only ones on the field, even with opt-outs from your stars, even with all the noise, it sends a different message. Playing the game tells people we compete, we show up, we finish what we start. Not because the bowl matters, but because we do. In football, in work, in leadership, in life, there's always going to be those moments where your head and your gut pull in opposite directions. Your head is going to see the downside. Your gut sees, well, your gut sees the standard. And the standard is what holds a team together long after the scoreboard lights are turned off. So play the game. Honor the jersey. Honor the men who want to take the field one more time. And let the chips fall where they may. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it helpful. If you disagree with me, fine. Let me know in the comments. If you agree with me, that's great too. Thanks for being here. I love you guys. I will see you again tomorrow. And as always, don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.